Well, hygge for Danes is something quite natural, so we don't even think about it. It's what probably you would refer to as coziness. It's warm feeling of being together, actually being present. Sort of in a certain way, you resource your soul, if you want to say it that way. What's interesting about hygge is that if you compare it to other cultures where they obviously have similar concepts of whether in America or in England or in other European countries, people get together and have family meals everywhere, is that we do it actually every day. The Danes would have hygge as part of their everyday life. You have the work-life balance as well, and so people actually take the time to sit down and I would say in a day, you would at least have one or two or several hygge moments. Trust in Denmark is the highest level in the world. It's around 80% between citizens. It means that for a non-Dane, they would usually be surprised that when you walk in the streets of Copenhagen, you might see strollers with babies inside of them sleeping outside restaurants while the parents are actually having lunch inside. And people that walk by, they would say, well, nobody's watching the babies. And as a Dane, you would say, well, in reality, everyone is, because the level of trust is so high that you sort of have this solidarity feeling of you can actually trust people in society, which gives you a pretty good base and a more simple approach to other people and a positive approach. The second pillar is what I call the freedom to be you. The sense of the freedom to be you is really to be understood in the Danish educational system. The main purpose is to develop the personality of the child. So in the Danish educational system, they would value all talents equally. So whether you're manual or you're good at music or sports or you're creative or you're just good with humans, you're a good comrade, they would value that personal talent that you have in a child. So you're not going to tell a little kid that's only 7 or 8 years old, you're a failure because you're not good at the intellectual matters, or you're not good at math, or you're not good at languages. And so it gives children more freedom to actually choose to be who they are, and the likelihood of them actually ending up living their own life and not just a life is higher. You also see the effect of this in society, that you have the syndrome of the happy garbage man, because the garbage man knows that his role is essential to the well-functioning of the state. Because if you don't have somebody removing the garbage, the country or the city will actually not be running well. And so not only does he know that his role is valued, but other Danes would also value that role, and so you have less fractions in society because individually people don't consider themselves to be superior or inferior to each other, but just different. The third pillar would be what I call a sense of individual responsibility for a common project, and I refer the common project with a purpose, a sense of purpose, and the common project in this case would be the welfare state. You see in Denmark, you have the highest level of taxes in the world. So it's about 60% from about 52,000 euros annual revenue. And you have 25% taxes on products. And so despite that, you see that 7 out of 10 Danes are actually happy to pay those taxes because they feel that they're part of the system and not victims of it. They actually contribute to something that they feel have a purpose. That purpose being that you have equal opportunities. They know that in some sort the cards are redistributed every time. The chances of the son of a carpenter becoming a lawyer are almost as big as the son of a lawyer becoming a lawyer, and that's actually quite rare. Sometimes we refer to that as the American dream, but I dare to say in my book that I think it's actually maybe the Danish dream, that the real social mobility where you can really move from generation to generation. And it's not about becoming, by the way, a billionaire or a millionaire. It's just about being able to freely choose who you want to be and what you want to be in society, and that product that project has a meaning and it has a sense of purpose for people that participate in it.